Before we jump back into the usual car content, I wanted to take a moment to better explain this part of the video. Sydney, Mark, Ralph, and I, NikkiPursuit, spent part of the day out in Ventura exploring a couple of historical spots, including the Mission in Ventura and the Museum of Ventura County, before grabbing food at Busy Bee's Diner. The main reason we planned this out was because of something called the Passport to History booklet. It's actually a program that connects dozens of museums and historical sites across Southern and Central California, encouraging you to visit each location and collect stamps along the way. You can start at any location, and as you go from place to place, you build out your booklet and even earn rewards for hitting milestones. But more than anything, it's about learning the history of each region and seeing how all these locations connect together. I'll link the Passport to History in the description of this video if anyone is interested in purchasing and experiencing the video on your own time. One of the stops we made was the Mission San Buenaventura, which dates back to the late 1700s and was part of California's original mission system. Today, it still has the historic church and even a small museum that showcases artifacts from that era, including items connected to the Chumash people and early California life. We also checked out the Museum of Ventura County, which is part of the Passport program and focuses on preserving and sharing the local history, culture, and stories of Ventura and the surrounding region. So this part of the video is a little different. It's not just about cars, but about taking a step back, exploring some local history, and experiencing something new through that Passport program. And of course, we kept it balanced with a stop at Busy Bee's before continuing the day. As a continuation of the day exploring the Ventura museums, the first car we spotted was this vintage Willys Jeep, customized with branding from Iron and Resin, a Ventura-based lifestyle brand known for blending surf, motorcycle, and classic Americana culture. You can see their signature winged piston logo right on the windshield, giving this Jeep a rugged coastal meets garage built identity. It's actually a well-known display vehicle that shows up in their promos and at events, so seeing it in person was pretty cool. Now when it comes to the Jeep itself, this looks like it falls somewhere between the classic Willys CJ2A and the updated Willys CJ3A models. Both share that iconic no-frills design and the same Go Devil flathead engine, but there are some key differences. The CJ2A typically has a split two-piece windshield and more utilitarian features, while the CJ3A upgraded things with a one-piece windshield, improved suspension, and more driver legroom by repositioning the seat. The wipers were also moved from the top to the bottom of the windshield, making it a bit more practical overall. Either way, what you're looking at here is a piece of automotive history, simple, durable, and built for both work and adventure, now reimagined through a modern SoCal lifestyle brand. Also, in front of Iron and Resin, we came across this really unique setup amongst several other motorcycles, a custom-built vintage-style motorcycle paired with a sidecar, branded for Mojave Mobile Motorcycle Repair. Right away, it stands out with that rugged garage-built look. The sidecar is fully customized, painted with the business name and even fitted with extra headlights, giving it both function and that raw, desert-ready aesthetic. The bike itself looks like it's based on a dirt or enduro-style platform with knobby tires built for rough terrain. Perfect for something inspired by the Mojave Desert environment. Builds like this are often used for mobile repair services or as rolling displays, but this one leans heavily into that rat rod style, something that feels handcrafted, a little rough around the edges, but full of character. It's one of those builds that really captures that independent do-it-yourself spirit you see a lot in Southern California's motorcycle and off-road culture. Then, on April 16th, I headed out solo and made my way into Filmore. Driving in, you can immediately feel the shift. The roads open up, the pace slows down, and the town starts to come into view with that classic old school look. It's one of those places that still holds on to its character, and you can tell right away there's a lot of history behind it. As I was making my way through Filmore, the town's connection to automotive history really started to make more sense. A big part of that comes from its role as a transportation crossing point, especially around the Santa Clara River. Back in the early days, getting across that river was actually one of the most dangerous and important travel points in the county, until bridges were eventually built to make it safer. Those crossings, and later, the roads that replaced them, helped connect Filmore to surrounding towns, turning it into a key route for early drivers, agricultural transport, and everyday travel. There's even a phrase tied to the town that says, "All roads lead to Filmore," reflecting how it became a central meeting point through developing road systems. Over time, as highways and improved roads expanded through Ventura County, Filmore naturally became part of that growing automotive network, bridging the gap between rural areas and larger cities. So while it started as a railroad town, Filmore's real legacy also lives in how it helped shape early road travel and car culture in this part of California. While walking through one of the lots in Filmore, I came across a pair of classic American cars that really stood out. On the left is a 1941 DeSoto Custom Business Coupe, finished in this deep purple. What immediately catches your eye is that bold vertical waterfall grille and the smooth rounded body lines. This was part of DeSoto's early rocket body design era, and it even introduced one of the first semi-automatic transmissions at the time, known as Simplematic. Being a 3-window business coupe, it was originally designed with practicality in mind, but today, it's pure classic style. Next to it is a 1963 Chevrolet Chevy 2 Nova, likely a Nova 400 model. You can tell by the horizontal grille and circular headlights, giving it that clean early 60s look. The Chevy 2 was introduced as a compact alternative in the lineup, and the Nova trim represented the more premium version of that platform. Seeing these two side by side really shows the shift in American automotive design from the bold, flowing curves of the early 1940s to the more simplified, compact styling of the 1960s. Walking through that same lot in Filmore, there were a few more standout rides parked nearby. First up was a Plymouth Prowler, a late 90s throwback to classic hot rods, with its exposed front wheels and bold design, definitely one of the most unique modern collectibles out there. Next was a customized Ford Bronco First Generation, a classic off-road icon from the late 60s and 70s, now built up with modern upgrades for that rugged look. And then, a Willys Jeep CJ3B, known for its high hood design and roots as a durable, go-anywhere utility vehicle from the early days of civilian Jeeps. After checking those out, it was time to head over to the Filmore Historical Museum and continue the day. After stepping inside the main visitor center at the Filmore Historical Museum, I took a moment to learn about their mission and hours. The museum is dedicated to preserving the history of Filmore and the surrounding communities, making it accessible through restored buildings, exhibits, and guided tours. They're open Wednesday through Friday with split hours, and Saturdays as well, keeping that history alive for both locals and visitors. From there, I made my way around the grounds, checking out the historic buildings and diving into one of the most important parts of Filmore's story, the railroad. Back in 1886, the Southern Pacific Railroad was planning a major coastal route between Los Angeles and San Francisco, and the Santa Clara River Valley became the perfect path. After an initial stop location fell through, the railroad partnered with local land developers and established a new stop, eventually naming the town Filmore after Railroad Vice President Jerome Filmore. The first train crossed the Sespe Bridge in early 1887, and almost immediately, the depot became the heart of the community. It brought in new settlers, shipped out local goods like citrus and stone, and even allowed people to travel to Los Angeles and back in a single day. But as cars and trucks became more common, rail service slowly declined. The last passenger train came through in 1935, and by the 1970s, the depot was nearly lost. until it was saved and relocated to become part of the museum itself. Walking through this area, you can really see how the railroad didn't just pass through Filmore, it built it. And just like that wraps up my time here in Filmore. From classic cars in the lots to the deep history behind the Filmore Historical Museum, this town really blends automotive culture with its roots in a way you don't see every day. If you enjoyed coming along for the ride, make sure to stick around. There's always more to explore. This is NikkiPursuit, signing off.